Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it? You already know. Like a torta with some bad habits. Bye up, bye up. Let's get straight to this intro. Welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content that I stay kicking. And I appreciate the support. I'm very humbled by it. So looky, can I have some? What's going on these days? Well, I'm going to tell you what's going on. What happened at the Merced County Fair just the other night, right? What's going on these days isn't too different from what was going on back in my days, right? Still the same old bullshit. Still the same old gang-related individuals going to a fair where kids are present, where families are just trying to get out and have fun, and have determined that that's their spot that they're going to go gangbang at. They're going to go represent their neighborhood, their barrio. They're going to go do their thing because, hey, that's what's going to help the people in the promised land, right? That's what's going to help defend the casa. Not at all. I had that mindset when I was young. I thought I knew what it was. And hey, guess what? I'm now a fucking YouTuber. So look, it doesn't always work out the way it's supposed to. You think when you're young, man, you go to these places that you have to show bravado, you have to show face, you have to show that you're loyal to the gang and you want everyone to see the bullshit. But literally, you don't understand that everybody watching what you're doing, that's a whole lot of witnesses that are going to testify against you. So there's a video circulating right now on social media that's kind of going viral. And it shows the Nortenos from my home city, my hometown, Merced, at the Merced County Fair, which is right dead center in the middle of the west side, right 2-3 blocks away from a neighborhood and another 2-3 blocks away from another neighborhood. It shows them allegedly stabbing a Southerner, right? Someone who they caught slipping or they figured was a Southsider. Now, there's no context to the video as far as what happened prior to the snippet of video that's out there that shows these young men allegedly doing what they're doing. Okay. The video picks up, and I'm not going to show the video. It's pretty violent, right? But the video picks up showing what seems to be a handful of youngsters. They already have this guy on the ground, and it looks like he's repeatedly being stabbed with an object and being kicked and repeatedly punched. Now, this is an ongoing investigation, right? So at the same time, everything prior to this snippet being put out, you don't know if initially the other guy was the aggressor and he got off where he was mad at first, and this was just retaliatory. You know, hey, there's a lot of witnesses. There's a lot of people, as you can see on that thumbnail in the background, there's a lot of people watching, children even watching other children do this thing. Now, one thing I can say is looking at these videos, and I'm reading a lot of the comments, people are like, wow, he's just a baby allegedly doing the stabbing. He's just a young child. And I think back to our days, man, how young we were, probably the same age, maybe even younger. But we had a different look about ourselves. I guess when you're young and you're doing stupid shit, you think you're already grown. You think you already know what it is. So you don't picture yourself the way you look, right? But me watching this video, I had flashbacks. It took me back to when I was young and incidences that occurred. So anyways, in this video, it shows these young Nortenos, young Northerners, getting off, right? Basically assaulting someone on the ground. There's a lot of people on social media running around saying that dude was a Southerner and he got caught slipping. And I'll tell you right now, man, in the Merced County Fair, it's predominantly Nortenos, Northerners. There's other gang members from different hoods. You'll see some Crips, some Bloods, some Asian gang members. And I'm going to tell a little story about getting into it with the Asians for the first and only time ever when it comes to me. And shit goes down. The fair was always a dangerous place. When we were young, we couldn't wait to go to the fair because we wanted to ride the rides and eat the food and enjoy the atmosphere, right? Just be a part of something. It's a boring town, man. So you want to, once the fair comes every once a year in June, July, you know, people want to go, and it's like the thing to do. It's the happening, right? It's where everyone's at. And I remember when I was very young going because that's when you would see everyone from all the different schools and all the chicks, and it was just like a big who's dressed better, who looks better. You know, seeing someone outside of school back in them days was like a big deal. Like, yeah, that's right. This is how I really do it outside. It was like social media, basically. You know, on social media, a person could be one way, but when you see them in real life, they could be the total opposite. And so it was like finally seeing these people that you talked about or heard about in school and seeing them right there, because everybody was there. It was the thing to do. And we didn't just go one day. We went every fucking day to the fair. Every day. It was open like 6-7 days, and we were there every day. But one thing we did as gang members is we never pulled up in the daytime. See, the fair opened up early in the day. And now, as a parent, I understand why, and I've went a couple times, but I understand why parents take their children during the day, because once that sun sets, all the bullshit comes out. And it seems like nothing has changed. You know, all the bullshit comes out, just a lot of gangbanging. And I remember one time, man, and this particular day was the first time they did this. Me and my friends were walking into the fair, and I'm not going to lie, we were flamed up. We were representing the Norteño cause. We wanted everybody and their mama to know that we were about to shaman the mamas, right? That we were Norteños. And there was no doubt about it. You could tell by our gang attire. You could tell by the lettering. This was back in the days when everybody would wear, I don't know, man, how old you are watching this video, but back in our days, we used to wear these black jackets, and we'd have old English lettering with either our last name or our neighborhood on it. We used to wear black or red hats or blue hats, depending upon what gang you're from, with lettering that said your barrio, and belt buckles with the letter on it, and, you know, a bunch of fucking letters. We wanted everyone to know the alphabet, right? The alphabet we represented, which was the N. And I remember this particular day, we're walking into this fairgrounds, and there's a lot of gang task. Back then, I didn't know what the fucking gang task was, but now I know. They were the gang task force, probation and parole officers. They had their own damn booth, and they weren't selling hats or cotton candy. They were giving out fines, tickets, and selling ass whoopings. And so as we walk in, they snatch us up real quick, make us take off our hats, make us take off our jackets, anything that was gang related. If you were wearing a red t-shirt, you got turned away at the door. I mean, they were on it. And I remember turning to my homeboys and saying, fuck, bro, we can't be out here gangbanging like we used to. These motherfuckers fucking it up for us, right? But even then, still, we went out, changed our clothes, got in all black, white t-shirts, whatever, and came back. Now, they followed us for about the first hour through the fair. And this was the cool part. We didn't jump on rides. We didn't buy the bracelet. We didn't eat the fucking corn dog. Nowadays, you can't eat a corn dog because then you'll be a they, them. But we were just walking in circles. It's a small fairgrounds. It's a small fair. We'd walk in circles, just high-fiving everyone, mean-bugging everyone, and looking for the opposition, looking for people that were in there slipping. Gang members, preferably Southerners at the time. That was the thing. Hoping to catch a dude from A-Town, hoping to catch an upstater. Back then, we didn't call them upstaters, just Sureños, but that was the thing. And we figured, hey, if they were going to be here, they were pretty much doing the same thing. We got into a couple melees with them from Atwater and other gangs. Back in these days now, Norteños didn't even get along with other Norteños, so you had to watch out for that too. So it was dangerous. It was dangerous, and I would advise anyone who has children that wants to take their kids to the fair, and I know it's funner at night, the bright lights, the everything. During the day, it's dead, right? You don't see the lights. The kids don't get to really enjoy the experience. Don't do it. Shit like this that you see on that thumbnail is going to happen. It's 100%. Merced County Fairgrounds is dangerous. It's going to happen. 1,000,000,000%. Every single night, you're going to see fight after fight, stabbing after stabbing. Every once in a while, my motherfuckers is waiting in the parking lot. Okay? So we were walking through. The task was following us. They ended up bouncing. And I remember it started to get later. It was about 10 o'clock in the evening. And I remember walking past this booth and seeing a gathering there. And I wasn't really tripping. I wasn't really tripping at first. You know, a lot of people would gather up. Maybe there's a new game or whatever. And it was right by the ring toss game. I don't know if you've ever seen those games. No. Excuse me. By the dimes, where they have ashtrays and mugs and cups, but they're solid glass and stuff like that. And people would throw dimes. And if you land a dime in it, you win it, right? So you hit a fucking dime inside an ashtray, you get an ashtray. Here's a whole bunch of kids trying to win a fucking ashtray. 9, 10-year-olds out there, their moms, get that fucking ashtray so I can spark my Marvel lights, right? And I see a homeboy. And I know him. I know him from school. I know him from just around the way, right? He's from a different barrio as me, but he's the homie. And I know him even more personally because our lives would intertwine a couple times, but I know him even more personally because his family, his brothers, his older brothers were cool with like my dad, my uncles. So like I knew him around the way. Not only did he was like part of the family basically. So he sees me, looks back, and there's like a crowd gathering, and I could see his eyes twitching, like something's wrong. So I tell the homies, let's go over there. My homies at the time, they didn't care about no other neighborhoods. Like it wasn't like that. It was like only us and us only and fuck everyone else. We didn't do the Norte thing. We were Nortenos, but we were our own Nortenos. Fuck what they're going through, right? But I was like, nah, it's the homie right there. So as we start to walk closer, now mind you, we're young. We're very young. I'm not young, like young. I'm like 18. I just got out of the youth authority, so I'm on my gang banging shit, but I'm still young. Not as young as these kids that were arrested the other day for this stabbing, but I'm young still. And as I walk up, I see the homeboy's kind of looking at me. He's trying to say something without saying it, right? You know, that whole thing, say fucking pressure washer without saying pressure washer, right? He's trying to say something. And at that time, he gets cracked with one of the fucking ashtrays because they're right there, the glass. And I see his whole shit split. And it's a bunch of Asian dudes, and they're smacking him. I mean, as we're walking up there, hitting him in the head with fucking glasses, with those thick-ass ashtrays that don't break, made out of that thick-ass glass, right? Bouncing off his head. I see blood everywhere. It was bad. We run over there, and we start getting in the mix immediately because we see, it wasn't even that we seen a Norteño getting fucked up. It's that we seen another Mexicano getting fucked up, right? So we're over there. So some race riot shit. Just being real, right? It wasn't that nobody was racist or prejudice. It just turned into that. And motherfuckers are getting off. It is a big old melee, and the cops, that same gang task force, come running, and of course they snatch all of us up, right? No, they snatched a lot of us up. A lot of us took off. I was one of the ones that was able to get away. I doubled back around the fair because it was like right in the front, and I doubled back around, and I'm seeing people snatched up hella homeboys, and they're like, hey, and I'm like, fuck you, right? So that guy got me an ashtray. I'm walking. I ended up getting away on that one. The thing was, I realized that then and there, man, this is a fucking dangerous situation. Like, motherfuckers are trying to kill each other at the fair. It's because you feel like empowered. I don't know if it's the energy from the lighting or all the people that are there. It's like, this is like a showcase. This is the place to show off, right? You want everyone to see what you're about. You don't realize until you're older, that's the last thing you want is everybody to see what you're about. Because everybody's going to have something to say, especially now. Everyone's going to break out the phone. Immediately, someone broke out the phone, and these youngsters were filmed literally stabbing someone on the ground, kicking them, beating them. And best believe they got snatched up already. Now they got to face charges. Now they're going to be humbled. Now they're going to sit down and say, damn, was it really gangster, man, to jump one dude, to stomp one dude out? Now, I understand the gangbanging mentality. I was part of it for many years, right? Hey, it is what it is. That's what you sign up for, right? But really, what I seen on that tape was a cowardice act. I seen someone who was already was doing the curling motion, right? He was already curled up. He was already doing the Larry Curly Mo. He was already curled up, and dudes continued to run and kick them and stomp. And the fact that there's a whole bunch of families in the background and children and people watching, you know, I don't know about the mentality now, but my mentality even back then was kind of like, let's not do it around kids. You know, we had, I guess, a little bit more rules and regulations we set upon ourselves. Now, there's no fucking rule that says you can't do what you want to do. If you want to gangbang and you catch the opposition, there's a rule that's called get off where you're mad at. That means fucking handle your business on site. You know, and again, I don't know, in this clip that I seen, I don't know if prior to this there was some back and forth. I'm sure maybe they just spotted this guy, recognized him for who he was. They knew him. It was a personal issue, North and South shit. Or maybe this guy had something to say. Now, from what I've seen in the video, I like to read into things. I can see the guy's haircut because there's a lot of people saying, oh, the Nortenos caught the Southerners slipping. I don't know, man. His haircut was pretty consistent with another Norteño, you know, a northern haircut. See, there are differences in Northern California between Southerners and Northerners. It's starting to blur the lines now where they're starting to look similar. You know, traditionally back in our days, we could spot a Southerner a mile away. The Norteños had the high fade, the Mongolians. Some were bald like myself, but we had a little Mongolian popping off or something, right? And Southerners, you could tell. You could tell by the way they dressed, by the way they carried themselves. Their hair was bald most of the time. I mean, you could just tell, okay? It's hard to describe for those that have never lived that life, but you could fucking tell. And those were the guys that were targeted. And it was vice versa, man. They would target Northerners because they could tell too, as well. I remember a situation where, we were at the fair and we had told ourselves before we went, like, hey, we're not going to do nothing. We're not going to get off tonight, bro. Hey, I mean, if there's a little one-on-one or something has to happen, fuck it, let it happen, right? But we didn't go with the intent. We went with the intention to enjoy the fair for what it was. Let's go have fun tonight. We're young, dumb. We about to get them chicks full of, you already know, right? We're going to have a good time. We're going to enjoy ourselves. And so I ain't even going to lie, I walked in, I'm going to enjoy the full experience. I need me 2 corn dogs, but I'm going to eat them sideways, right? And boom. So walked in, nachoed up, corn dogged up, Pepsi on crushed ice up. You know the drill, right? Elephant ears. Oh, wait. Churros. Like I'm enjoying myself. I'm not even around the corner yet. I just spent all my money, right? And so as I make it around this deadly corner, because the way it is in the Merced County Fairs, you walk in through the front entrance. There's several entrances, but we always wanted to make our presence felt through the front entrance, right? So as you walk through the front entrance, there's booths to the right-hand side of you. Sometimes they have a little stage or something set up to the left. And you walk down this aisle and then you turn to the right. Well, that's death row right there. Because when you turn down the aisle, there's the beer gardens, there's food courts on each side. You're making it to the rides, right? That's usually where you're going to run into everybody. Everybody's coming one way or the other. And that's where most of the fights occur, right? They crack off right when you get to where you're getting into the rides, past the beer garden, you get right into the ride. I don't know the setup anymore. I haven't been there in a long time because I'm not a stupid ass, right? I'm not going there for violence and they'll get me, right? But as you walk in, there's a ride, like these swings. It's always there, man. It's the first ride you see on the right-hand side, the zipper and that shit. And that's where it cracks off. That's like center stage for fighting. Always, 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 man. Back since I was a kid. And if you look at this fucking thumbnail, that's exactly where it cracked off. Right there, that ride's right to the right-hand side, man. I promise you, I know that area very well. If that dude moves over a little bit, I got a big pile of my blood drop right there. I promise. They left me leaking. But anyways, on this particular Saturday, we go in and we're just going to enjoy ourselves, have a good time. And sure enough, man, I notice this world, it's a big planet, but small world, right? When you're walking into a place and your mindset is, look, man, I just want to enjoy myself. You're not going to enjoy yourself. You're not going to. Everything that you've done is called karma. Chama, right? Everything that you've done is going to come back to you tenfold. Hey, whether it's good or bad, and it came back bad this day. And as we're bending the corner, I see him, man. There's a beer garden right there, and I see like 4 big old Southsiders. LA Dodger, big old LA on the back of his head. Can't miss that, right? And I try to ignore some bullshit. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm walking with the homies. I see it, but I'm hoping they don't see it. I'm like, man, if we just keep on walking, we're flamed up at this point. For some reason, like the task had stopped doing that. They did that for like a year, realized that didn't stop shit, and then just went away from fucking doing that. Now, there's still parole, probation officers, police officers walking around the fair undercovers, I'm sure, but they're all that snatching you up and probation, maybe every once in a while, but they weren't doing it this year. So we're flamed up, gang banged out, right? But as we're walking, I look at the beer garden to the left, and I spot these big old something. What really alerted me was not the big LA or the Dodgers or the Sur gang. That wasn't what got me. What got me was their ladies had some big old butts. And I was like, oh, wait, that's that ass right there. You could only get ass like that in LA or San Jose. And that definitely wasn't San Jose. That was LA, right? So I was like, oh, Los Sur gang. Hey. So I was attracted to that ass. Their chicks were like banging. Like they stood out. They were different. And so as I'm looking and I see these big old fucking Southsiders, they haven't seen me, but I've seen them. I'm like, shit. Right? I don't want no issue. These some big boys. And my dumbass homeboy spotted it at the same time as me. And look, I'm not going to say I was the cowardly lion, but he was definitely the fucking scarecrow. He had no brains, right? So I'm like, what's up, bro? He's like, hey, fool. Them Southsiders right there. But he used a derogatory term for Southsiders that I'm not going to use, right? Because I'm not trying to start shit. I said, is it? I'm still looking forward. Hey, look, it's the zipper. Let's go ride it, right? He's like, fuck that, bro. Let's get off. Now, there's about 10 of us, right? But these Southerners are grown men. We're 18, 19 years old. These dudes are in their 28s, 30s. Arms bigger than my head, right? So I'm like, okay, well, where there's some, there's more. That's one thing I learned about Southerners, where you'll see a few of them on frontline status, and then there'll be a lot more sitting in that beer garden drinking. So I was like, hey, let's fucking let's see if we can pick up some more homeboys, right? We're gonna get them. Let's get them. Let's not just fucking go in there stupid and get fucking put in the camel clutch, right? So as we're walking, we run into some dudes from M Street, which is another neighborhood in Merced. Like, fuck. So we double back. Bam. Now we're like 20 deep. Let's go approach him now, right? Shit, I'll say something. That's not me saying it. That was another homeboy. But he's like, I'll say something. Let's go. So as we walk around, bam, these dudes are still right there sipping, right? We stand right there like in a show of force. What's up? And one of them turns and sees us, the one with the big LA on his head. He's like, what's up, Bessie? I was like, did he call us a Bessie? They were like, no, he said, what's up, Bessie? I said, I think he called us a Bessie. We're sitting there arguing over what he called us, right? Motherfucker shouldn't call us shit. And the homie's like, Puro Norte, bitches, tic-tac, put that on tic-tac. He's doing the Patty Sanchez. Like in real life, before Patty Sanchez did that, the homeboy's doing it. Puro Norte, put that on fucking, on Norte, right? Man, these 4 Southerners came out, and behind us, about 20 more Southsiders there, youngsters from A-Town was in that motherfucking mix, right? Needless to say, it was a good rumble. Needless to say, I got left leaking right there in front of the beer gardens. Made my way to the zipper. I'm not going to say I ran that way, but I got drugged that way. And we lost that battle that day. Soul Gang prevailed, right? Tommy guns don't get all happy and shit because you still got a fucking Cabbage Patch Kid hanging from your fucking waistband. But we got beat up. We got beat up because we should have just got off where we're mad. It was my fault. It wasn't only my fault. Everyone else agreed, right? And I wasn't the spokesman for us. This ain't the fucking hair club for men, right? We could have did our thing. The fact is, though, that's the type of gangbanging mentality it was. It was just fighting and fighting and over what? Because he had an LA on the back of his head. Over, we fought another Mexican dude that was just trying to enjoy himself at the beer garden. I was trying to just eat my cotton candy, but we had to go out of our way to make a fucking issue, right? And some of the homeboys got off. There were stabbings. Like, it was cool, but it wasn't that cool, right? Because I got fucked up. Now, the shit that's going on, man, shows me that time hasn't changed anything. If anything, these dudes are looking younger. They're doing crazy shit. And now, you know, you got one guy that got fucked up, and these guys are going to have to go to jail for an assault with a deadly weapon. And the cool part is there's kids that are going to be traumatized, man. So these fairs in Northern California, I can't speak for Southern California, never been to the fair down there, but these fairs in Northern California are very dangerous, especially in the Central Valley, man. The Sacramento State Fair, the Stanislaus County Fair, San Joaquin County, Tulare County, Fresno County, the big Fresno Fair, man. If you ain't fought at the big Fresno Fair, you ain't really did that. I done fought at the big Fresno Fair. That's like a rites of passage. You know what I'm saying? I done got my ankle chewed on by a bulldog or two. I'm telling you right now. Anyways, with that being said, this is what's going viral. It's circulating. People are speculating that this was a Southsider that the Nortenos stabbed. And what stood out to me was not North or South. I don't care nothing about that. But how young was this youngster? The mentality of this youngster to pull out a pico and get to gallo, right? Fuck. I mean, this looked like a baby. He looked like he was 8, 9 years old with the piece. You know, how did he get that piece in there? Of course, you know, what's the trip is I seen someone put a comment. They check you for weapons at the door, but they're selling buck knives and shit on stands at the next thing you know, they're gonna be selling ARs right there. Like, hey, fuck it. You can't come in with one, but you can leave with one. Anyways, those are just a few stories, man, of my interactions at the fairs, things that have happened at the Merced County Fair. Very dangerous place, man. I advise you this, and this is just my advice. Take it or leave it. If you got children, man, don't go when it's dark because it's gonna be some bullshit, man. Always. No one can just get along. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I honestly and truly believe in, and that's the betterment of all people, man. Can't we just all get it on fact? That it's not going to happen. We could say it, though, and maybe speak it into existence, but look at that thumbnail. That fools ain't getting along. Not at all. This video is sponsored by Barrio Liquors in Turlock, California. If you're ever in the Turlock Central Valley area, pull up to the Barrio and get you something cold to drink. Also by Sticks and Stones Yard Service in Tucson, Arizona. If you live in the Tucson area, you need an estimate on yard work, hit up Sticks and Stones. He got you. This is the gun. Let me know what you guys think. Bang, bang.